Many times before here on the show how Meghan and Harry really do have something of a chip on their shoulder. Many people might suggest, of course, that the chip's that big that even Jackson's chippy wouldn't have enough vinegar to cover it. That's all because they feel very hardly done by, and more importantly think it's just one rule for one and one rule for them. If you remember way back, yes, so many years ago now, they did really want the option of half in, half out. That was their idea, to do working sort of ambassadorial roles around the world on behalf of the monarch at the time, Queen Elizabeth II. They felt that they could represent her all the while making independent living by doing certain things like books, Netflix, producing films, all of that sort of stuff, podcasting. Well, we saw how that well went. And, when you think about it, Her Majesty the Queen must have thought to herself, this is not going to pan out well. I mean, she'd seen this before with her youngest son, Prince Edward, trying, of course, to cultivate a life outside the royal life, as it were, to become something of a thespian, working for a short period for Andrew Lloyd Webber, and then, of course, setting up his own production company with the father of Sophie Ellis-Bextor, the pop star. That's right. But you can understand in many respects how it looks like double standards, particularly for Meghan and Harry in the 21st century. Let me explain. Good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, and as ever, lovely to have your company. I know somebody said to me, is this a palm tree? Not sure. I think it is. What do you think it is? It's not bad though, is it? I know it looks like my hair first thing when you get up. Hair Bear Bunch. Who remembers that cartoon, eh? You see, triggering memories here, aren't we? Who remembers Yogi Bear? Do you remember him? Still love Yogi Bear. Drifting now, back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. This story, as I say, is a strange story in many respects, because when you think, Harry and Meghan, as I said, did ask for something very similar. You see, recently, more and more recently, we've seen the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, welcome back into the royal fold. So much so that for the first time last year, she was asked to spend Christmas with the monarch. That hadn't gone on for many years, as one can imagine. A lot of people said this was due to the fallout for His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. But now she's well and truly back in the fold. But a very good source pointed out to me, who's very close to Harry and Meghan, this is one of the things that really irks them. You see, there you have Sarah this week appearing on the commercial ITV channel on the chat show this morning as a guest editor and a guest presenter. Not only that, she's releasing books and signing mega deals around the world for publishing. She's also got her own podcast, which has proven to be very successful. Far more successful than Meghan Markle's Spotify deal, which was worth millions of pounds. But as they pointed out, why is that different for Sarah, and why is it not the same for Harry and Meghan? Well, you see, the bigger picture really is when you think, as much as Sarah's been something of a dark horse within the British monarchy, and let's not forget she has had her stinging times, particularly when she offered to introduce the fake sheik from the News of the World to Prince Andrew and then was caught on camera, quite literally incredibly embarrassing. But again, there you go. We don't need to mention, of course, Prince Andrew. We know where we are with that. But you see, Sarah's never actually trashed the British monarchy to the level that Harry and Meghan have. Prince Harry in particular has been very damaging towards the monarchy as its existence, pointing out that he knows what goes on behind the red velvet curtain, etc. Meghan Markle herself, those sort of idle threats about how she never signed an NDA, and more importantly, she was trapped and held a prisoner, even though she was suffering from mental illness. Nothing looked good. And those are the two deciding factors. When I spoke to someone inside the palace, they said, look, they know Sarah's background. Obviously, His Majesty the King is very aware of what's gone on before, but she has never really done anything as damaging as, of course, what Prince Harry's done with his autobiography, with, of course, the endless mental health situations, how he finds it very difficult to fly back into London, all of those sort of things. So while Harry and Meghan may whinge and moan about exactly double standards and treating certain royals differently, well, the real reason is this. Whatever you may think about Sarah Ferguson, and a lot of people do think certain things, she hasn't exactly attacked the monarchy. She's been ill-advised and taken and done stupid mistakes, but never actually outwardly gone and trashed the monarchy at the level that Harry and Meghan have. And that apparently is why she is welcome back, deals and all. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.